Stop scrolling. Just stop for a moment. I'm serious. Pause right here. Take a breath and just listen. Because if this message found you right now, it is not random. You didn't click on this by accident, and you are not here by coincidence. There is something deeper happening in this very moment, something beyond logic, beyond chance. God told me to deliver this message to you immediately. Not later, not tomorrow, but right now. Because something has already been decided about your life, and you need to hear this before it's too late to recognize what's unfolding. There is something with your name on it, something real, something already approved in heaven, not pending, not delayed, not maybe someday. Approved, completely, fully, final. And I know that might sound hard to believe, especially when you look at your current situation, especially when things around you don't match what I'm saying. Maybe your life feels slow. Maybe things feel stuck. Maybe you've been praying, waiting, hoping, and nothing seems to be changing. But listen carefully. What you see right now is not the full story, not even close. Because in the spiritual realm, something has already shifted. Something has already moved in your favor. And what you're experiencing right now is only the surface. I saw something very clearly, not with physical eyes, but in a way that felt real, undeniable. I saw a book, but not like any book on earth. This wasn't paper and ink. This was something living, glowing, radiant, a heavenly record, a divine ledger. And inside that book, there were names, names written in light, not fading, not shaking, not uncertain, clear, sharp, permanent. And your name was there. Yes, yours. Not erased, not scratched out, not halfway written, but fully there, bright, recognized, marked. And next to your name, there was a word written boldly, a word that stood out more than anything else. Approved. Not questioned, not debated, not reconsidered. Approved. And this approval wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about success in the way the world defines it. It was deeper than that. It was approval for restoration, for healing in areas where you've been hurting, for open doors that no one can shut, for ideas that will come to you at the right time, for peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances, for influence, for impact, for purpose, for the life you've been quietly praying for, the prayers you whispered when nobody else was around, the moments when you felt alone, when you didn't even have the strength to pray out loud, but your heart spoke anyway. Every one of those moments was heard. And listen closely. This didn't just happen today. Heaven has been watching you for a long time, longer than you realize. Every time you kept going, when you felt like quitting, it was recorded. Every silent tear, every hidden struggle, every time you chose to keep moving forward even when it hurt, it mattered. Every quiet prayer you whispered in the middle of the night, when no one else knew what you were going through, it was heard. Every time you gave, when you barely had enough yourself, it was counted. Every time you stayed strong when nobody supported you, it was seen. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. Not the pain, not the delays, not the confusion, not even the mistakes. All of it has been part of the process. And now there is a release happening. Something is shifting. Something is opening. But here is the part that most people don't understand. Just because something is approved in heaven does not automatically shows up in your life. There has to be a response. There has to be alignment. There has to be a moment where you say yes. Not a perfect moment, not a moment where everything makes sense, just a moment of agreement. Because I also saw something else, something important, something that explains why things have felt so heavy lately. There were shadows, not physical, but spiritual, moving, shifting, trying to come close to that book, trying to blur the names, trying to delay what has already been approved. This is not just life, this is spiritual. That confusion you've been feeling lately, that sudden doubt that shows up out of nowhere, that lack of motivation, that heaviness you can't explain, that feeling like you're stuck right when things should be moving, it's not random, it's resistance. Because the closer you get to something big, the stronger the distraction becomes. The enemy does not waste time attacking what is ordinary. He attacks what is valuable. And right now, you are valuable, more than you realize. You are standing at a turning point, a moment that could shift everything. This is not just about money. This is not just about success. This is about your purpose, your peace, your future, your legacy. There is something trying to come into your life, something bigger than you expected, something that will not only change you, but will affect everyone connected to you, your family, your future relationships, your environment, even people you haven't met yet. That's how significant this moment is. And that is exactly why the resistance has been so strong. Because this is not small, this matters. But here's the truth. Many people miss moments like this. Not because it wasn't real, but because they treated it like just another message. They scroll past it. They ignore it. They say, "I'll come back later." And later never comes. Distractions take over. Life continues. And the moment passes. But you're still here. You didn't scroll away. You didn't ignore it. You're still listening. And that means something. It means your spirit recognized something before your mind fully understood it. There is a reason your heart feels different right now. A reason something inside feels still yet alert. A reason you paused. A reason you stayed. Because deep inside, you know. You may not be able to explain it, but you feel it. Something is happening. Something is shifting. You've been through too much to stay the same. You've waited too long for nothing to change. This is your moment. Not a moment of perfection. Not a moment where you have everything figured out. Just a moment of alignment. A moment where you choose to respond. A moment where you say, "God, I hear you. I'm ready. I'm not going to ignore this." Because when you respond, things begin to move. Not always instantly in what you can see, but immediately in what you cannot. Doors begin to shift. People begin to appear. Conversations begin to form. Ideas begin to align. And suddenly, what once felt impossible starts becoming real. Step by step, moment by moment. Right now, your name is already marked. Your file is already open. Your approval is already written. Heaven is not deciding. It has already decided. Now it is waiting. Waiting for your response. Not a perfect prayer, not a long speech, not something complicated. Just agreement. Just a yes. You can say it quietly. You can say it in your heart. Or you can whisper it out loud right where you are. I receive what God has approved for me. That's it. Simple, but powerful. Because that small moment, that simple decision, is not small at all. It is the signal, the alignment, the opening, the moment where what is already approved begins to manifest, and everything starts to change. There is something powerful you need to understand, something most people never fully realize, even after years of searching for answers. What heaven releases always has timing attached to it. Perfect timing. Not your timing, not the world's timing, but divine timing that cannot be rushed, delayed, or manipulated. Nothing is random. Nothing is misplaced. Nothing is happening without purpose. And most importantly, nothing is late. It may feel late. It may look delayed. It may seem like you've been waiting far longer than you should have. You may have questioned why things haven't moved yet, why doors haven't opened, why answers haven't come. But the truth is, nothing is late. And nothing is early either. Everything unfolds exactly when it is meant to. Every moment, every shift, every opportunity appears at the precise time it is supposed to. And right now, you are in a window, a very specific moment in your life that is not ordinary, a moment where things can begin to shift faster than usual, a moment where what once felt stuck can suddenly begin to move. That's why everything has felt so intense lately. That pressure you've been carrying, that emotional weight you can't fully explain, that strange feeling that something is about to happen but hasn't fully happened yet. That space between almost there and not yet.
That is not confusion. That is not failure. That is transition. You are in transition. You are moving from one season of your life into another, and transitions are never comfortable. They are not meant to be, because transition is the space between what was and what is about to be. It's the place where the old version of your life is trying to hold on to you, while the new version of your life is trying to pull you forward. And being in between those two forces can feel overwhelming. It can feel confusing. It can feel like you are stuck, like nothing is fully working, but nothing is fully falling apart either. Like you're standing in the middle of something, but you can't clearly define it. That feeling of being in between, not fully connected to your past anymore, but not fully stepping into your future yet. That's exactly where you are right now. But understand this clearly, you are not stuck. You are shifting. There is movement happening even if you cannot see it yet. There is progress happening even if it does not look like it on the outside. Because the most important changes always begin internally before they ever appear externally. And here's something most people never hear. Before every major breakthrough, there is always a moment of decision, a quiet moment, a powerful moment, a moment that does not always look dramatic, but carries the weight to change everything. A moment where you either lean in or you pull back, where you either trust or you doubt, where you either take a step forward or you stay where you are. And that moment is right now. This is that moment for you. Not tomorrow, not later, not someday, right now. And here's what makes this moment powerful. You do not need to understand everything. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to see the entire path ahead. Because that's not how this works. You are not meant to see everything at once. If you did, it would overwhelm you. It would create fear. It would make you hesitate. Instead, you are shown what you need, step by step. God does not reveal the entire future. He reveals the next move. And your next move is simple. Stay aligned. Stay aware. Stay open. That's it. Because what is coming into your life right now is not ordinary. This is not just another opportunity that will pass by. This is not just another idea that fades away. This is something prepared, something intentional, something designed specifically for you. And when it shows up, you will recognize it. It will feel different. It will feel right. Not perfect, but right. It will feel aligned. Not forced, not confusing, not draining. It will not create chaos inside you. It will bring clarity. It will bring peace. It will bring a quiet certainty, something you cannot fully explain, but you will feel it deeply. And that's how you will know. But there is something important you need to understand. Sometimes what you prayed for does not look like what you expected. It does not always arrive in the form you imagined. It does not always come through the direction you planned. It does not always match the picture you created in your mind. Sometimes it comes differently. A different opportunity, a different path, a different door. And if you are not paying attention, you can miss it. Not because it was not meant for you, but because it did not look the way you thought it would. That is why this moment matters so much, because awareness is everything. Right now, you are being awakened, not by accident, but on purpose. Something inside you is being activated, a deeper understanding, a sharper awareness, a stronger connection. You may not be able to explain it completely, but you can feel it. Something has changed. You are not the same person you were before this moment. Even if everything around you looks the same, something inside you has shifted. And from this point forward, you will begin to notice things differently. You will start seeing opportunities you did not see before, things that were always there, but you were not ready to recognize them yet. You will begin to feel clarity where there was once confusion. Decisions that once felt difficult will begin to feel simple. Directions that once felt unclear will begin to make sense. You will begin to move differently, think differently, respond differently. And even if nothing around you changes immediately, you will feel the change within yourself. You will feel more grounded, more aware, more certain, more ready. And that inner shift is everything. because that is how transformation always begins. Not on the outside, but on the inside first. First comes the internal shift, then comes the external manifestation. That is the process. That is the pattern. And right now, your internal shift has already begun. Your alignment has already started. Your response has already been heard. Even if you did not say anything out loud, even if all you did was feel something, that was enough. Because alignment is not always spoken. Sometimes it is felt. And that feeling has already activated something within you. And now, what has already been approved is no longer waiting. It is moving toward you, step by step, moment by moment, in ways you may not even notice yet, but soon you will. Soon you will begin to see it clearly. Soon you will recognize it. Soon you will understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Why the delays were necessary. Why the waiting was important. Why the process could not be rushed. Because everything you went through was preparing you, not just for something good, but for something right, something aligned, something lasting. So do not rush this moment. Do not ignore what you are feeling. Do not go back to being unaware now that you have been awakened. Stay present, stay aware, stay aligned. Because you are no longer where you used to be, and you are closer than you think, closer than you have ever been. And everything that has been prepared for you is now finding its way into your life. Not randomly, not accidentally, but intentionally. Because this is your time. This is your window. And what has already been approved is now moving toward you.